Aries ascendant. Now for Aries, the month of February will start with a very positive Jupiter, and also it will also start with a very strong Mars. Why? Because if you observe, right on 5th of February, Mars will become exalt. So Mars will start its preparation in the Uttarashadha nakshatra, and therefore Mars will also get the blessings of Surya, which is in the 10th house. So February is a month which is exceptionally good for your career, for your personality development, for your overall development. Anyone who is into engineering sector, who is into energy sector, anyone who is a professional into networking, IT and networking sector, communication sector, someone who is into lighting business, someone who is into government related contracts, government, if you have to bag a government tender, this is really great time. If you're applying for a government related post, government job, or if you're preparing for IAS, IPS examination, this month can be really very, very important for you because of the very strong Sun and Mars. Also from the career perspective, because of a very strong Sun and Mars in the 10th house this month, it really becomes very important that you choose the right track in your career and avoid any confrontation because of too much of ego that is happening in the 10th house. Now, if you observe until the mid of February, that is until 13th of February, Sun will be in Capricorn. So will be the Mars, and very soon Venus will enter Capricorn on 11th of February, which means that the career angle of your life will draw your energy so much that it can create trouble in your relationships. It can create problems in your marriage, and it can overwhelm your family because you might be bringing your problems from your career in your home. So don't do that. But if you're maintaining that, you will be in a much better position to negotiate in your career. Maybe this is the time you may get promotion, or at least some talks may go ahead. People who are looking to go into executive leadership, people who are looking to move into a brighter side of the career or change a domain, this is the right time. The second half of the February will be Sun and Saturn conjunction in your 11th house. Now this really means that you will have to change your ways how you work, and you may have to accept few outcomes. This might mean that you may not like the way people treat you, people talk to you, you may be cornered or isolated, but because you have a strong Mars, you will come out victorious. So you can put forward your point of view, but remember not to be disrespectful, because anything that is related to ego can create a lot of problems. For students, it's going to be a really great time. You will be hyperactive, you will find the right tone in your education, and you will be able to learn more during this time. Just avoid any kind of procrastination and be very proactive while you're studying. Even for people who are into academics, who are into teaching, coaching industry, you will see reforms coming, and you will also see major changes happening in your life. Now, someone who is into transport business, someone who is into real estate, it's a very good time for you. Both Sun and Mars will be aspecting your 4th house, but there can be disputes related to land, and in an agriculture environment, this can create some disputes. So be watchful of all those events happening in your country. Overall, February is going to be a really bright month, a month where you will love what you do and you will get to do what you love. So really it is going to be a very pleasing time, and it is also going to feed your ego, feed your subconscious with a lot of success, hope. So this month will be totally on high spirits. But because Jupiter is in the 1st house, it will also guide you when to mellow down, when to find the right path, and how to figure out what is right and what is wrong. So you have to listen. It is your duty and responsibility to listen the voice of Jupiter inside your head. One remedy is to chant Hanuman Chalisa at least 7 times a day. That will allow both Sun, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn energy to be much more guiding rather than restrictive. Taurus. Now for Taurus, if you observe, Venus will be in the 8th house, and very soon from 11th, Venus will enter, on 12th, Venus will enter the 9th house. But before Venus enters the 9th house, it is Mars which is entering the 9th house of Capricorn. And therefore, Mars, which is your 7th and 12th Lord, getting exalt shows travel plans. There can be business contracts coming from overseas. You may expand your horizon. People who are involved into traveling, into tourism, into hotel industry, food and beverage industry, export and import will see great boost during this time. People who are involved into sports related business, any kind of business, physiotherapy, sports material, dress, shoes, will see boost in the month of February. So if you are associated with that business, it's good for you. Also, if you see that help will come from your brother-in-law if you are married, and in certain cases, if you are into some sort of marriage dispute, this will guide you. This will tell you your dharma in marriage, and therefore one who follows the dharma, one who will listen to the path of Mars and Jupiter will find great success. Another thing is that if you observe in the first half of the transit of the month of February, Sun will be in the 9th house, and in the second half of the month, Sun will be in the 10th house. The moment Sun goes in the 10th house, that means from 14th February, you should be very careful. See, when Mars is powerful, your subconscious will be powerful, circumstances will be in your favor, and you would want to, push yourself forward. But in doing so, you should be very, very careful that you are respectful towards the elderly, you are respectful towards the people already in power. And Sun and Saturn conjunction in the 10th house can be controversial. This can ruin your fame. One wrong step, one step of arrogance, and you can be facing the music. So be very careful there. On the other hand, Mercury transit in the 9th house and the Mercury movement in the 10th house is actually very good, because Mercury is your Yoga Karaka planet. And when the 2nd and the 9th Lord goes in the 9th and 10th house, it shows career opportunities, new job prospects. If you want to learn something, if you want to upgrade your skills, this is the right time. And from the perspective of finances, your money will be put into good use, auspicious use. Donate some money to the temples, pray to Bhagwan Ganesha. Chanting the mantra Om Gam Ganapate Namah will be really helpful if you chant 108 times every day. Overall, if you observe that this is going to be a great month for Taurus natives, Taurus ascendant and Taurus moon sign. Rahu is also stable in your 11th house, giving you growth opportunities, but you should not try to show your strength, because anyone who is trying to show their strength will face problems in this month. So think about that. Utilize the power of Mars. Mars will also now aspect Jupiter from 5th of February once it gets exalted, and therefore this can increase your expenses. Now, these expenses can be more like an investment, thinking about the future growth, but question is, under what influence are you making these investments? So if somebody is saying, or if you think your business partner is saying, you should sit with the plan, think practically, discuss everything and then implement. That is the best way. Forget about your ego, forget about what people will think about you, forget that. Any assumption based decision will cause a downfall. But if you're practical, you will get a lot of success. Anyone who is due for promotion, anyone who is due for some appreciation will get it. So it's really a time when a lot of recovery will happen and you will gain a lot of power. For people who are searching for love, relationship, the second half of this month is really good, but you need to be careful so that while you are approaching someone for relationship, you should not create a controversy out of that. So be very mindful, otherwise this is going to spill some secrets which will not be good for you. Gemini. Now for Gemini, if you observe that for the entire month of February, if you divide it in two parts, one till 11th and 12th February and then for the period later, you will see Venus will be influencing your 7th and 8th house, and Venus is your 5th lord. So for the first half of February, it's very good for resolving conflicts in marriage, conflict in relationship, maintaining, creating new partnerships, rediscovering different horizons in your business relations. If you are into business development, if you are into fashion, if you are into corporate sector related to cosmetics, if you are into designing, if you are into chemical sector, this is going to be a great time for you. Also, on the other hand, for one half of the February, Sun will be in the 8th house. For the other half, Sun will be in your 9th house. Now, if you observe, when your third lord is in 8th house, it shows time of change. When Sun is in the 8th house, it is showing you the true reality. It is showing you all the loopholes. On one side, Venus is trying to create positive feedback. On the other hand, Sun is also highlighting your mistakes and flaws. And I will say this is a very good combination of energy. If you can extract the best out of this, it will be great. The only problem is that because the month starts with Moon and Ketu conjunction in your 4th house, you may not feel as if the month was up to the mark. Especially if you are a Gemini moon sign, you will have this kind of weird feeling inside you that you have not accomplished much. You want to run away. You want to go out of the place. You want to explore. You want to rediscover yourself. All that is okay as long as you have practical approach in life and you have a very sensible approach in life. Understand that Saturn is in 9th house, Jupiter is in 11th house. These are actually very positive placements. So luck is in your favor, Guru is in your favor, Karma is in your favor. Just you should avoid doing any adharma, any shortcut to success. If you believe in that, then that is going to create a lot of problems. On the other hand, if you see that Mercury's position will also be in the 7th house and then Mercury will move into the 8th house, then there will be a 4-planet conjunction, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars for a very brief time, like within moments, and then you will see that Sun and Saturn conjunction will happen in your 9th house. Sun and Saturn conjunction in the 9th house shows that you may have to take some bold decisions toward the second half of February. Health of your father may be impacted because of that, and there can be some family related challenges. Avoid travel in the second half of February if you can. Obviously, your horoscope will tell the most, but on a very general note, this seems to be a little challenging. A Sun and Saturn conjunction also means that your reputation and people's belief on you will be going down. So you need to work on that, and that is why you need to avoid any confrontation, avoid any controversies on this particular month. And but overall, because of the Jupiter's blessing, your wishes will be fulfilled. But again, I will say, how are you fulfilling your wish will decide what happens after the wish is fulfilled. Cancer. For Cancer ascendant and moon sign, you will observe that Venus and Mars are in the 6th house, and on 5th of February, Mars will become exalt. Mars is your Yoga Karaka planet. It's your 5th lord, it's your 10th lord, and it gets exalt in the 7th house. So there are a couple of things. Number one, it is going to make you workaholic. You will get a lot of opportunities, especially if you run a business. If you are into electrical, electronics, engineering, if you are into real estate, construction business, wires, fire related, fire safety hazards, if you are into defense, or if you are preparing for IAS, IPS, or any other civil service examination in India or relevant examinations in the other countries, this is going to really help you. Then you also observe that for like a week, for like 9-10 days, Mars and Sun conjunction, although in the too far end of Capricorn, but they will be in Capricorn. Therefore, it gives you a lot of authority, a lot of power, a lot of confidence, and a lot of support from powerful people will come to you. But this is very much negative from the relationship perspective. Why? Because too much of heat is happening in the 7th house. This can ruin your marriage. Ego, anger, dominance, a sense of power can destroy a relationship. So do not try to dominate anything, rather try to go slow. Because remember, after the mid-Feb, Sun and Saturn conjunction will be in your 8th house. If you are a Cancer moon sign, you are already under Ashtam Dhaiya. This can create a lot of tension between your family and your spouse's family. Reason can be anything depending upon your horoscope. Now, whether it will be resolved immediately or will take a longer time to diffuse the tension, that depends on your own horoscope. You also need to take great care of your health, avoid eating sugar, correct your lifestyle. If you're working too much, ensure that you don't burn out, because you will experiment a lot in this particular month. Now Jupiter in the 10th house ensures that you get good, decent opportunities in your career, whereas Rahu stable in the 9th house shows that you will get opportunities to explore your knowledge, experiment with things. But then, as I said, just because you are getting power does not mean that you will become powerful. First of all, if you are getting an opportunity, if you are getting maybe promotion, if you are getting recognition, keep it with yourself and don't let it become become a dominating factor in your life. Don't let it sit on your head. The more humble you are, the better your life will be. Mercury will also have its journey in the 7th and 8th house, so you have to be very good at communication. Do not use cuss words, bad words. Don't abuse anyone. Keep your tone very polite and diplomatic in nature. If you already have a afflicted Mars in your birth chart, Hanuman Chalisa is really going to help you a lot. And continuously take the name of Bhagwan Shri Ram and Bhagwan Hanuman. Also track the moon transit, especially moon crossing Rahu, Ketu, Gandanta points and moon meeting Saturn. All this information I upload in my Instagram channel, where I create reels specifically for this purpose, so that you can track moon at specific junctions of the month. Those are the days which you need to be very careful, you need to be watchful, especially because of your mood swings. Your anger may peak or suddenly your confidence may drop. Overall, this is going to be a very powerful, it is going to be a very good month. It's just how you use it, whether you handshake and follow the path of dharma, or you choose the very negative, aggressive path. Totally your call. Leo Ascendant. In case of Leo Ascendant, if you observe, Sun will be in the 6th house, then Sun is going to go with Saturn, so it is going to be a tough month. I won't deny that. Mars will also go in the 6th house and become exalt. Although 6th house Mars mean you will win over your enemies, you will come out victorious, you will have strength to deal with situations in life, but you need to be very practical. You will meet adverse situations. Yes, those adverse situations will sharpen you, will give you results of your good karma, but also it means that there will be roles and responsibilities on your head that will create pressure. So you need to be very proactive in fulfilling those roles and responsibilities. Venus, on the other hand, for the first half will be in Sagittarius, for the second half it will be in Capricorn. That means change is inevitable. So you will have to change your approach, you will have to take things under your control, you will have to work towards a lot of things. You need to be very careful about your health. Anger and stress, hypertension can destroy your health and therefore make you unable to take quick actions which will frustrate you. Also, you will see that you will keep on encountering situations which are a little bit difficult to manage, which kind of slows you down. But remember, if you are being slowed down, it is actually good for you. So do not try to use that brute strength to break the wall. Go slow. Jupiter in the 9th house will aspect your Lagna. Now see, this is where the blessing is coming. So visit temples, chant Guru Mantra, chant Bhagwan Narayan Mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you continuously chant this mantra, say for 1 month, take a sankalp of 7 malas a day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just remember the image of Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Shri Ram, and just keep on chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What this will do is, this will increase the power of the 5th house, because Jupiter, your 5th lord, is sitting in the 9th house. It is the one who is saving you. But you need to utilize the power of the planet through the house where it is sitting. It is placed in the 9th house, the house of dharma, temples, righteousness. So you need to follow that path. What that will do is, it will ensure that Rahu's temptations to create misadventures will be curbed. Mars 6th house will destroy enemies rather than destroying you or your health. Saturn 7th house means it will bring gurus, right guidance, right amount of hurdle in the right proportion, so that you kind of bypass that hurdle and that is like your right path. Sometimes A gate has to be closed so that you don't fall off the cliff. If that gate gets open, for you, a gate is open, but what lies beyond the gate is beyond your understanding. And that is where Saturn is extremely, extremely important. You may feel that you are not getting support from your father, your mother, your family. Also, there can be some financial tensions, but if you know that things will be alright, and if you believe in the power of Jupiter, you will sail through, and this will be a beautiful month. Use it wisely. It's a very powerful month. Virgo Ascendant. Now for Virgo Ascendant, very important thing is tracking the movement of Mercury. Now Mercury will be for the entire month of February either in Capricorn or in Aquarius. This Budh will be crossing the energies of Mars, Sun and Saturn. Therefore, this month will be very exciting for you, full of achievements, full of travel, full of knowledge. Very good time for students to be very proactive in life, do something new. Also, on the other hand, Mars will become exalt. Now, Mars is very important because Mars is your third lord. And when the third lord, Mars, goes in Capricorn, which is your fifth house, it goes Bhavat Bhavam. Also, an exalted Mars in the fifth house is very good to ensure that unexpected or unexplored things comes under your control or it comes in your knowledge. So it's a time when secrets will come out, you will get to know true colors of people, you will get to know about your strength and weakness, and your strengths will improve and your weaknesses will reduce. On the other hand, Venus will enter the Capricorn zodiac sign around 12th of February, and that means that your Dhan Lord and your Bhagya Lord is also changing its zodiac sign, and it is gaining the energy of the fifth house as well as gaining the momentum from the Mars, which is good for enthusiasm, good for learning, good for motivating yourself. It's a great time for students. It's a great time for people who are into the creative field, who are into advertising, media or photography, wedding, event planning. And it is also a very good time wherein situations in your marriage will improve, your romance will improve, it is going to reignite, rekindle the passion. So it's obviously a great time. The only problem is that this may increase your expenses. You need to take great care of your health, especially towards the second half of February when Sun will enter the sixth house. When Sun enters the sixth house, you need to be watchful of your health because of the Sun and Saturn conjunction, which is the sixth lord and the 12th lord connection. Although Sun will form a Vipreet Rajyog, that means this calls for investment, this calls for clearance of loans, loan repayment will be possible during this particular month. So a lot of pressure will be released from your head. The only problem is Ketu will be on top of your Lagna, which means you will depend more on the feedback from other people. You will depend more on what others have to say rather than what you believe for yourself. So do consider your point of view, your opinion, your own self in taking any decisions in your life. Otherwise, it's a really great month. Libra. Now for Libra ascendant and moon sign people, you will observe that Venus trajectory is very important. Venus will be in your third house, then Venus will be in the fourth house, and then Venus will be in the fifth house. So when Venus is moving from third, fourth and fifth house, this means that your ascendant lord and your eighth lord are going into certain sort of changes. When it is in the third house, it means you need to take matters in your own hand. Your Mars will also become exalt. Mars, which is your second lord in the fourth house on 5th of February, showing that this is a great time for business, career development, asset creation. People in real estate, people in engineering sector, people who have factories, people who are working with government related stuff will see great boost in their career. You can also buy a home or at least plan to buy a house during this time. Leisure, travels, trips, all that is possible during this time. Also, when Sun is in the fourth house, it is your 11th lord going in the fourth house, which is also an indicator that the entire Dhan, 11th house lord and the second lord comes in the fourth house. So it is great time to think about financial security, asset creation. It is a great time for people who work from home, who work in the field of Vastu, who work as a real estate agents, who work as a commission agents, who work in the field of engineering sector, who work in the field of technology, who work in the field of astronomy, astrology. It's a really great time for all those people. Especially someone who wants to pursue these kind of field, this is the right time to take the first step. Overall, February will be a great month because Jupiter also aspects your Lagna. Jupiter aspects your Lagna Lord, which is Venus. Just that you have to ensure that Rahu, which is in the 6th house, will try to create controversies by making you have a lot of belief in yourself. Sometimes when there is a lot of power coming in your life, you tend to believe that you are the best. And sometimes that can create ego-based reaction. You might try to prove a point, you might try to show that you are the best, you are better than the rest. It's not that whether you are better or not, the problem is your display of power, and that display of power can create an outrage from Saturn. Saturn, which will be the dispositor of both Mars and Sun, which happens to be very powerful in your horoscope right now. On the other hand, Mercury will have its transit mostly in Capricorn and Aquarius, which is also very good, which also shows that your destiny will change. Some decisions will happen in your life in this particular month that will completely alter your life. So something will happen. So what you should do is, if there are important moments, important events in your life in February, you should take it very seriously. Do not be complacent, do not be very relaxed at this point of time. This is the time when you do the maximum, plus you will also be very much active in the night. So that can affect your health adversely. So be very careful. If you really want to work when people are sleeping, wake up at 3 a.m. and start working. Overall, this will be a great month, but you need to control your anger, and you will be highly passionate during this time. So it's a very good month for creative people. Scorpio. Now in case of Scorpio, if you observe that Mars is in really powerful position, especially from 5th of February, which means your physical strength will be really great. You can recover from bad health. Your confidence will be really very high, in fact a little too high. You need to be very careful that you are not becoming too overconfident and not ignoring people, hurting people, especially your loved ones. You're not becoming very angry and allowing your anger to release in a very negative sense. Channelization of energy is very important, so do a lot of yoga, do a lot of pranayam, and if possible, go out for walk. Don't stay at home too long. Keep yourself active to whatever level you can. Your mind will also be hyperactive during this time. This month is really hyperactive for you. But the problem is, the more you try to do things, see, there will be obstacles, especially coming from your home, maybe the circumstances in your family, maybe the kind of situation you are in, that will be more like a block for you. You will also see that your loved ones and your friends will also be a block for you. Maybe you won't get support, maybe you want to do something, but you will be like, nobody is supporting you. Now you should ask yourself a question, why is no one supporting you? Is this just a simple following of a passion, or you are actually wrong here? So this analysis will be extremely important for you. Listen to your mother's advice and listen to the advice of the elderly during this time. You can introduce career changes, you can introduce changes in your life if you take things in your own hand. And if you see, because your 6th lord is in 3rd house, this is the time to resolve issues related to your brother, cousins, related to someone who is a very close and dear friend. Also matters related to loan, debts, investments will be resolved during this time. So if you are under debt, this is the time to, not procrastinate, but take matters in your own hand and do something about it. Jupiter is there in the 6th house to help you. Also, you will observe that because Mars not only is exalt in the 3rd house, but is also Digbali, and not only that, Mars is no longer in combustion, that means Mars is not Ast. You will also realize your true potential. People will love the way you will communicate, the energy that you will radiate. So be very positive, not only from your words, but also your aura should be positive. And the aura will be positive if you pray to the divine a lot. So at least spend half an hour every day. Reserve it for prayer, especially to Bhagwan Hanuman, to Surya Devata, chanting Aditya Hriday Stotra, Hanuman Mantra. Bring Hanuman Yantra at home and donate lot of things on Tuesdays. And if possible, do fast on Tuesdays, because that will help you from the perspective of health. Sudden travels may be possible, but see, you will be eager to do a lot of things because of the realization of strength, but don't take any random step. Otherwise, 6th house will create hurdles. Be patient, be slow. Sagittarius. Now, if you see for Sagittarius, Jupiter is in 5th house. For the first time, it is without Kuru Chandal. It is no longer retrograde. Saturn is also not retrograde, it is also stable. So definitely it's a great month for you, especially considering that your 5th lord is getting exalted. So it shows that your life will become productive, family will help you, you will gain things in life, financial security will come. And also if there are health issues, that will be resolved. But then you will have to be very proactive towards health. So do a lot of yoga, a lot of physical exercise, eat light, eat sattvic, avoid non-veg, avoid alcohol, and do a lot of yoga, exercise, pranayam, take part in meditation sessions, and pray to Bhagwan Hanuman and Bhagwan Mahashiv. By chanting Om Namah Shivaya, you will trigger the positive vibrations, because Mars is right affecting your tongue, your facial structure. So what it means is that you should be smiling, you should be bringing all the positive aura, all the positive energy. Try to eat a lot of food that reduces inflammation in the body, non-inflammatory food. And your voice, your words can be very sharp, very direct and hurting. So you need to be very careful there, have a diplomatic approach, diplomatic way of talking, especially towards your family. Overall, this is going to be a really great month. It's a month which will bring peace of mind, which will bring harmony, because Venus is also in the 1st house. From the perspective of income, Venus will enter the 2nd house very soon, from 12th of February, which means it will result into a lot of money coming your way. But yes, it will also be spent. So I won't say this money will be there to create a lot of savings, but it will take care of your future expenses. So financially, this is a great month for you. Mercury's movement, which is your career lord's movement, is also in the 2nd and 3rd house, which also shows that your family, your life partner will help you. A lot of changes will happen in the life of your life partner, your spouse. That may affect you a lot. So do expect those changes coming your way. But overall, February is a brilliant and a well-balanced month. You should read a lot of scriptures. You should do a lot of chanting and donations to activate Jupiter in the 5th house. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, a lot of things are happening on your ascendant. For the first half, Sun will be on your ascendant, which is your 8th lord. So it shows that a lot of changes will come in your personality, maybe through your family or through the circumstances. Also the words of your spouse, the financial aspects of the spouse, the effect of the energies of the family of the spouse will affect your life and your personality a lot. So do not show anger, because Sun can adversely affect the 7th house here. On the other hand, on 5th of February, Mars will enter your ascendant. Mars is your 4th lord, Mars is your 11th lord. When it comes on your ascendant gets a lot of power. But try to understand. Now the Sun and Mars are sitting on your head, the energies of them, which means that anger, frustration might also creep up. You might also face health issues, you might also face heat related issues. Some people might suddenly face a lot of hair loss during this time, and the risk of you hitting the head and hurting your head is also very high. That means small accident, minor accidents, yoga also increases. But on the other hand, it shows that wish fulfillment will happen. Your friends will help you. You will have a good time with your friends, but that might affect your marriage adversely. So maybe you are going for a trip, maybe it's a trip with your office, maybe it's a group meetup with your friends, but whatever happens, ensure that it does not create trouble in your married life if you are married. And if you're a student or if you are someone who is unmarried, this is going to be a really great time. You will enjoy the Martian presence in the Lagna. You will enjoy how powerful you will feel, but this temporary gain of power should not be confused as a permanent position or a status of your life. You should understand that this is a temporary, in fact a positive one, a positive transit coupled with Jupiter in the 4th house. So this really gives you great advantage to take control, especially in your career. People who are athletes, people who are into debates, people who are lawyers, for them this is a great time. People who want to start a new business, young entrepreneurs, people who are working in a startup or who wants to launch a startup, great time for that. Obviously you will have to check your own horoscope, but at least from the transit perspective it's a wonderful time. Now soon Venus will also enter the 1st house, and when Venus enters the 1st house, see, the 4th lord and the 10th lord are now in the 1st house. It's a big Raj Yoga. Utilize this time by chanting Mahalakshmi mantra. Continuous chanting of the Mahalakshmi mantra will be really helpful during this time. Bringing Shri Yantra in your home is also good. Investment in different aspects, especially real estate, gold, and if you can do Vastu Puja in your home, it will be great. People who are involved in the engineering sector, government sector, people who are involved in politics will see their words becoming much more prominent, much more powerful. So it's a highly influential transit, by the way. Now the problem here is that you should also know your limits, boundaries and controls. Otherwise, and you should also stick to your values, family values. Otherwise this can really go out of proportion. Rahu in the 3rd house can make you believe that you are the best. And that is when the mistake starts happening. And you won't realize now, but you will realize later on in the month of March and April. So watch that. Couples who are willing to start a joint business, like husband and wife, this is a great time for that. You will be very happy, very confident, and you would want to do things quick, but try to understand you have to manage with what resource you have at hand, because Saturn is in the 2nd house. It wants you to first focus on productivity of what you have before bringing in more stuff, maybe before hiring more people, maybe before buying more stuff. So that is one approach that you will have to follow. But otherwise for Capricorn, after a very long time, I will say you are gaining the strength in a really great manner. Make the best use of it. Aquarius Ascendant and Aquarius Moon sign will experience expenses coming your way. Selling of a property might happen, especially after 12th of February. Mars coming in the 12th house shows travel, or at least major changes, that something that was stuck from a very long time. Mars in the 12th house may initiate the movement in that direction. People who work in export and import, who work in multinational companies, who work for foreign clients, who work in export and import of goods and services, who are freelancers, will really have a great time. Because Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, all in the 12th house, affecting the 12th house, shows that you will earn a lot from a foreign land. But what this will do is, this will make your mind run. You will think a lot, you will plan a lot, you will strategize, but that may not really work because Saturn is in the 1st house. Now because Jupiter is in the 3rd, what it shows is that you need to discuss before you take a decision. Now you can discuss it with anyone whom you prefer to. The only problem is that because your 10th lord is in 12th house, there's a great chance of committing mistakes in your career. So do a lot of donations, especially in the Hanuman temple. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa will really help you. And there can be conflicts with your father or separation from father during this time, especially after Sun enters Aquarius, which is mid of February. So this is the time when you should keep your ego at check, because this Sun and Saturn conjunction in the 1st house also shows that 7th Lord Sun coming in the first house. The influence of your life partner will be very high. There can be disputes with your life partner. Try to keep your ego in check. Saturn in the first house shows that you have to deal things very slowly and very maturely. Also, Venus coming in the 12th house shows that you will get money but to spend. That means you will earn more if you are in business. If you are in service, you will have this feeling to spend more money, do some donations, do some havan. Mars in the 12th house, you can do some fire ritual at your home. That will also give you some balance of energy, because Mars in the 12th house, especially for females, is a little bit difficult placement. On the other hand, overall for yourself, your life will be productive. It also shows a chance of pilgrimage in the future. So do think about that. But overall, if you are maintaining peace with yourself, if you are going with the flow and not resisting everything too much, not really trying to break free, your life will be good in the month of February. Pisces Ascendant. Now for Pisces, Jupiter is very well stable in your second house. It means that expansion of wealth will gradually and over time happen. It is also going to bring in help from the family members. It also shows that a new members in the family can join for people who are eligible. The thing that what happens in the 11th house is something that you have to see in the month of February. Your second lord is getting exalted. That means your investments, your savings will be consumed to bring gains. That means if there are inheritance related problems, that will be resolved. If there are partnerships, that will become more productive. Your business will become highly productive. It shows that your business will grow leaps and bounds, and you will see a lot of positive gains. But the one thing that you will have to be careful is how you are maintaining your relationships with your network circle, with your contact, because you will have to maintain that. Ego related fights can create problems, losses, and even enmity between two people. So think about that. Also, because Saturn is stable in the 12th house, there will be a steady expense that I won't call it as an expense, but maybe an investment. So if you're planning for a very long-term investment, if you want to plan for retirement, this is the time to think about it. Maybe talk to a financial advisor. For Pisces, because 11th house will also experience the energies of Venus from 12th of February, it shows that you can change your source of income. People who are looking for job, people who are looking for help coming from the network circle, maybe once you have the resume, you will see all that help coming your way. Changes will happen, and people who are in the executive leadership, who are in the top roles, especially when you are very close to retirement, this is going to give you once in a lifetime opportunity to grow big. So it's a very, very big transit, a very, very, very important month for you. Overall, I see that you will be very happy, not satisfied, but happy with your growth. It will be very exciting, but don't be lured by all the temporary jump in or temporary spike in life. This can hurt your health. Maybe you are overcommitting to your business partners, maybe you are overcommitting to your friends, and in order to fulfill your commitment, you are burning yourself. So your health should be your top priority. Money will come. Chant Angarak Stotra if you have Mars related problems, and chant Hanuman Chalisa every day. Now, very soon Sun will enter the 12th house. Sun, which is your 6th lord, will enter the 12th house, means it is a Viparit Raj Yoga. But this also shows the end of problems. Certain people will face eye related problems if you have a weak Sun in your birth chart, so be careful. You can travel to foreign countries. The health of your father can trouble you during this time. But overall, if I see, it's a well balanced month, a month that will give you more power, more responsibility, and lot more stuff that you will be taking a very long time to complete. Utilize this, but don't overflow your plate. Don't bite more than you can chew, otherwise it will become very difficult for you to fulfill the commitment. So if you're wise enough, you will bring in more people, create partnerships, so that you're not becoming too greedy, because the one person that will get a very bad impact in the month of February is someone who is very greedy, especially greedy for power.